Palermo, which I know every time I say I'm in Palermo, I always get those types of comments, but we are in Palermo today and we are getting lunch at a new place, and honestly, I am really surprised. I got an extremely good latte and a ginormous carrot cake, which was so good. And honestly, I'm really surprised because I feel like Palermo has a stereotype of being extremely expensive, which I do think it is very expensive, but these prices here were actually like some of the most affordable and economic prices I've seen in a minute, and the quality was really good. So we are starting off the vlog here on a really high note. Today's plan is that we actually have no plan. We're just going to be walking, exploring the areas, going down streets, and just seeing where the city takes us, which is such a beautiful part about living in the city. You can just walk, you can go, and you really don't know where you're going to end up. I just love that aspect of living in the city, especially Buenos Aires. And we just left the cafe. I asked for my cafe to go. I had like half of my cup left, and what they did, which is something that has never happened to me before, is they warmed up my coffee. And in theory, that was actually an excellent idea because I had like a hot coffee to go, but I think they warmed it up too much to where they like burnt the coffee. Aww. So I chucked it, which was a little bit disappointing, but it's actually the perfect fall weather right now. It's so beautiful. I love this time of year. It looks like the city has brought us to another plaza market, which I'm still doing no spend month in April, but that does not include cafe stuff. I have a budget for my food, but unnecessary spending, stuff for the house, clothes, gym stuff, all that extra stuff, that's unnecessary spending. So we'll see if we're tempted or not. The spot that we're in right now, Michael and I literally almost moved, like I think literally on this street. Literally in one of these apartment buildings you see near us right now. But we went here, we toured the place, we were talking with the person, we were really happy with it, and we agreed on a price, and then she low-key like kind of ghosted us, and we were like, well, she ghosted us, so we're gonna have to find something else. And she comes back and she was like, yeah, like I'll rent it to you guys, but my thing is the Airbnb prices are going up and things like that, so if I were to rent my apartment on Airbnb for this price, I would get more money. So the price that we originally agreed upon, I'm going to raise that. And if you guys still want to rent it at this new higher increased price, I think it was like $200 or $300 more a month. She's like, I'll still give it to you. And we're like, this is too sketch for us. So we backed out of that so quickly.
Ghosted us while we're looking for a house.
Yeah.
And then like 2 months later, you're like, oh, by the way,
yeah,
if you want to pay more, the place I ghosted you for. It's like, come on.
But we were really excited about living in this place because right over here there's a giant park, and we were like, oh my gosh, to have Max and go and walk to the park with him and have closer access to like to do picnics in the parks and things like that. But we actually ended up not going with this place, and instead we went with the place that you guys saw us at before the current place that we're in right now. And we were there for 6 months, and honestly we only had like good experiences there, so we only left because we just wanted to furnish our own place. But if we didn't want that, we probably would have continued staying there for a little bit longer. It was actually really nice. Always get asked like, what's the best method of renting a place or something like that? If you can avoid Airbnb, you're always going to pay like triple or quadruple the amount of what you would compared to if you were renting with like a direct landlord or something like that. So that's like my biggest recommendation. If you're looking to live here for the long term, you're gonna spend way more money on Airbnb, but I'm sure you already knew that. But there are a lot of good places online where you can like look for a place, including Zonaprop. Argenprop is the other one. Facebook Marketplace has some groups or things like that that I've heard about but I've heard there's also a lot of scammers on that one, so you gotta be careful with who you're giving your information to. This is actually, I think we're going to like non-busy tourist season for winter, so maybe you'll get a better deal if you are house hunting now. I do have to give a big shout out to you guys and everyone who supported me with my last video and checked out my Spanish interview, which I was so nervous. You guys were so supportive in that, so I do have to say thank you. And there were a lot of comments about like, this always happens. Like this is my life. People leaving comments that were talking to me privately, like DMs and things like that, about like my accent in when I speak Spanish. Like, guys, I know, like this is not new to me. Like, I know I have an accent that quite almost obviously immediately tells someone that yes, Spanish is not my first language, and that I'm from the US. Like, I am very aware of that, but honestly, I've been learning Spanish for many years now, and honestly, for me, it's so much more easier to communicate when I'm focusing on the words that I'm getting out. When I focus too much on my pronunciation, it's like I can't get a single word out. Quite honestly, in my language learning journey, like it's not something that I'm like actively practicing and trying to improve. I just want to feel more confident in getting the words out, and I know so many people have probably mixed opinions about that, and honestly that's okay, because I feel like for so long I wanted to like erase my accent that I have, and I don't think that's necessarily something that I want to actively try to do anymore, because my accent is a representation of like who I am. It represents my identity, it represents my culture. But overall, I had some really nice comments, so thank you. Michael and I tried to go on a nice cafe outing today. We went to a cafe. I got 2 Maria Lunas with a latte, and it was one of the worst Maria Lunas I've ever had in my whole life. Like, I think it was like a mix of like being stale, me just not liking the bread, and for some reason they added like this lemon flavoring in it, which I really didn't like. So we kind of ate half of our lunch, and then we came Rosiano's, my favorite fast food empanada place, and got some good empanadas, and me and Michael were shocked that on Google Maps, Rosiano's got a 2.5 review rating, which is mind-blowing to us. Like, out of all the empanadas you've probably tried from like higher class or pizzeria places, okay, maybe they don't compare. But like Rosiano's versus like Sabores Express or the other fast food ones, it's like a 4.5 out of 5. Like, I don't know why so many people are hating on it. They're actually really good. So this is actually kind of crazy to me. Also, I got a comment one time of someone telling me that I live like too much on a budget, or I'm like really frugal with my money. But my response to that is like, aren't we all kind of on a budget in some way, shape, or form? But I think I just find a lot of joy in like these small, simple things, like eating an empanada in the park, or like, I don't know, having a picnic in the park, and like being in the plaza. I think for me, like, I don't need to go to a fancy restaurant to like enjoy the food that I get or something like that. And I feel like that's a big difference between people who come to Buenos Aires or like any city as a tourist, because like you want to go to all these things, you have a bucket list of things to do, and I'm always trying to show like my real life on this channel. And so like that does not include me going to fancy restaurants and eating at the best parrilla, because for me on the day-to-day, like this, being in the park in a plaza, it makes me so happy. Like, and it's fall, it's a perfect weather, it's beautiful. So these are like my favorite things to do in the city, just like finding a place to sit, have lunch, hang out, enjoy like the beautiful place that you're in. And it's free, so why not?
We just didn't have access to like super nice like public parks and stuff like that, so it's something we don't take for granted now. Of course we had public parks, but like a public park in the middle of nowhere in New York is just like grass.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the difference.
It's not as pretty.
Yeah, it's not like a very nice like, you know, place, you know what I mean?
Always surprised, and I talk a lot about how like a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna lie, the Buenos Aires drivers drive, but I think it always shocks me completely when I see an ambulance come by and people don't know how to move to the side of the road to let the ambulance go by. Like in New York, like if an ambulance has its alarm on and its lights on and it wants to go, if you don't move to the side of the road, like you can easily get a ticket and get a lot of points on your license. But here it's like some people move, I will say that, but a lot of people do not move to the side of the road for an ambulance trying to make it to the hospital. Like that is so mind-blowing to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. Every Sunday morning, I dedicate like an hour of my morning to just clean, and that's exactly what I did today. Like when you get to open up the windows and clean your house and let the fresh air in, and it just smells so clean and so good. Like I unfortunately know I'm adult because those little types of things make my whole entire day, and our house smells and looks so clean now. Michael went and picked us up some breakfast, so we've had a good start to our Sunday morning. And while I was like doing the cleaning, relaxing and things like that, I noticed that when I watch vloggers from Argentina, which is something I love to do, but it took me a really long time for YouTube to recommend me vloggers from Argentina. I don't know why, but like I feel like when I watch vloggers from Argentina, I feel like the content that Argentine vloggers, I'm not talking about people like me who are living in Argentina, like actual people from Argentina vlogging in Argentina like that, like content creators and things like that. The content that they produce is honestly so fun to watch. It's so enjoyable. The people are so down to earth. They speak so highly of all these things, like they're so kind. I don't know, I just really enjoy it, and I feel like it's something that's kind of lacking in US content creation, because if you are like me and you've watched content creators in the US, like they're kind of so out of touch with reality, and Poco and Max are kind of going crazy right now. I feel like there's a big disconnect, and some of my favorite content creators in the US that like I binge watch and was like their loyal subscriber, like I don't even find myself watching their content anymore, and of course I'm watching more Argentina content. So I don't know if you have noticed that as well, but like I just love watching Argentine vloggers. One, it helps me with my Spanish a lot, but two, it's like really like Argentines are like some of the most kindest people. Like it just makes me really happy to live here, like surrounded by good people. Like it's a dream come true, it really is. The sun is literally so bright today, but we are at Reyes de Febrero, which is the park, but everyone always tells me it's called Bosques de Palermo, but we're on like the other side of the park. Like I have never been to this side before. Like it's all entirely different. It's way much more chill. Like I don't know why, but this is giving me like, you know how you go to a park or the beach or something in the US on like Memorial Day break or something, or I don't know, something like that, and there's just so many random people doing random activities like on a special holiday in the US. I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but like this feels exactly like that. Like I feel like the Argentina norm is like when people coming out to a park and doing fun activities, or tanning, or reading a book, or bringing the dog out, or bringing the kids to the park. Like that is such the norm here. But for some reason today, it's making me think of like that is just a special occasion in the US. It's like it's Memorial Day break, people go out to the park, they have a picnic, they're with their families. So it's kind of special that like these special days in the US where everyone is like kind of out doing something. It's just like a normal day here. I think that's so beautiful. Michael and I were just talking about the differences between New York City and Buenos Aires, and I asked Michael, like, if there was not a price difference, if the price didn't matter at all, what city, like, do you think wins? What city would you rather live in? Not saying we are moving back to New York, but this is just like one of those hypotheticals. And actually it was really hard because Buenos Aires and New York are like literally so nice. If you weren't talking about prices, it would actually be really hard. I would say the one thing that I do appreciate about New York City is I do think that there's a better public transportation system. I think the subway system is bigger. I do wish the Buenos Aires Soup Day system would be expanded, and I know they're adding the F, but like, I wish they were adding like 10 more lines, or at least expanding the lines that they have. We did say that we think Buenos Aires has better access to like food, like more supermarkets and things like that, which is so important. You hear a lot about like food deserts and things like that in and around New York City. So that's really important too. But I would even say maybe with like the weather, Buenos Aires may even win with the weather. So that's kind of hard too. We also said like with the people, like I think the Buenos Aires people are more nicer, more friendly, more open.
The stereotype is that Argentine people are so nice.
Yeah.
But the stereotype is that New Yorkers are so mean. That's the difference. And yeah, I like the Soup Day better than New York subway. I just think the subway is so confusing. The Soup Day, it's like, here's the most popular street in the city, and we have a subway that runs right along it. It's like, it's very simple. I think it's better, but it would be great if the Soup Day was like twice the size. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because some places in the city, it's just hard for us to get to, and we haven't spent a lot of time there. But like along the Soup Day, we've pretty much been everywhere.
Back. We walked a total of like 17,000 steps today. We walked like all over. But it was a very successful day, perfect fall weather, just really good all around. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one.
Michael and I were just talking about the I just had my how does she still have an accent? You don't know how to speak Spanish. There's always that 1%.